This is a review of the Vantiv Element credit card processor on ETerm for Eclipse. This is for adding the credit card information to the customer record on either the ship to or bill to level. In the Eclipse Vantiv system, the credit card information, payment information, can be stored in three different locations, either at the customer level and the ship to or bill to level, in the contact maintenance, which is used a lot by the Eclipse Commerce Connector website for e-commerce, or at the sales order level. It should be said that the actual credit card number and information is not stored in Eclipse. It is actually stored in an encrypted format at the Vantiv website, and the credit card numbers are accessed via token. The actual token information is stored in Eclipse. In order to maintain and delete the records as the cards expire, you have to go into the Vantiv web portal to do that. We are charged for each record, each credit card that's stored in the system, so although it's not a lot, so it should be said that every few months or so someone should get in there and delete out the old credit cards so that it doesn't rack up the charges. For storing information on the credit cards at the customer level, you want to get into customer maintenance and do Alt-P for pricing. Once you've gotten into credit control parameters, hit Alt-D for default credit card information. There may be a listing of existing cards, some of which might be expired and need to be deleted out of the system. Go ahead and hit New to add a new credit card. Some basic information is already pre-populated from the customer maintenance record. If the cardholder name doesn't match up, you might want to go ahead and modify it. If you've got the credit card handy, then go ahead and do Alt-S to swipe, or if you don't have it, then you'll do a manual entry. You'll see this warning message pop up in the ETerm window, and immediately your web browser should open up and start presenting you with information prompting you to go ahead and swipe the credit card. Obviously, you need to have one of the Magtech credit card swipers attached to the terminal that you're doing this process on. Do not click about when this window pops up, or else you may change the focus. If you do, be sure to click back onto the web browser window before continuing, or else when you swipe the card, the information will be sent to the wrong application. After a completed swipe through, which usually takes about 10 seconds for it to complete, you'll be presented with a swipe successful, and it will ask you if you want to go ahead and save the card. In most cases, the answer is yes. After you click Save, the information for this record will be encrypted and stored at the Vantiv website, and you will get a successfully processed. When you see this window, you can close the web browser. As soon as you do so, the information will be populated back into the customer record. Here we are continuing back in ETerm, and as said before, the credit card information, the token information that allows Eclipse to go out to Vantiv and process the credit card is stored here, but actually the credit card information itself is stored at the Vantiv site. You'll occasionally want to delete credit cards when they expire, or if they're no longer needed for a particular account. You just hit Alt-D and type delete to confirm, and that will delete the record off of the Eclipse system. You'll still, with some regularity, every several months go into the Vantiv system, the web portal, and delete the records from there as well. As you can see here, as credit cards are added, they show up on the listing when you look at the default credit card information. And as a handy feature, all swiped cards will have the expiration date at the end of it, which gives you a quick and easy way of looking at what cards have expired and delete them as necessary. The manual entry process is nearly identical, and of course you want to go ahead and change the cardholder name as necessary and the authorization method to sale before shipment. When you go ahead and do manual entry and you've typed this information in, you'll be presented with a slightly different web page. The manual entry page will look slightly different, of course, prompting you to put in the card number and the expiration month and year. CVV is not required. When you get through typing in that information, click Save Card. When you get the successfully processed information on the web browser, you can go ahead and close that, and as before, the information will be populated back into the default credit card information in ETerm. With the Vantiv process, a end-of-day settlement report is not necessary to run. When you run your cash box report, you will see the credit card transactions and the payment information transaction number usually stored right in the report. There are reports you can run that will give you greater detail, but for the most part they're not necessary. The credit card summary report will give you greater detail on the transactions within a date range, found under System, System Files, Credit Card Setup, and Summary. Here's an example of that credit card summary report. As you can see, it's got a fairly good bit of transaction information, almost anything that you could need. The pass utility is used to make mass deletions of outdated, unnecessary credit card information. It's removed from the Eclipse system and also from the Vantiv website. When running the utility, you pick which storage area you want to affect. As we said, the credit card information can be stored on the customer ship to and bill to level, on the contact level, or within an order itself. So typically you would pick customer, contact, or a closed order and a date range. In the Eclipse training, there's mention that there's some type of quirk in the pass utility, that it doesn't span years properly. Say, for instance, trying to tell it to remove expired cards going from 06/01/2016 to 06/01/2017. So they recommend that you use the expiration date of within the same year. In this case, for example, January 1st, 2001 to December 31st, 2001. Removing cards that have last activity of 60 days or further is fairly safe. You might want to bump it up to 90. Typically, you're going to remove this out of closed orders. Most especially, and probably on the customer ship to bill to level. I don't think there's going to be much in the contacts to remove. This should probably be done once a year is a fairly safe number. And this completes this presentation. For storing contact credit card information, the process is nearly identical, so a presentation won't be made for that one. Thank you.